Galileos do you want?
Beep, boop, beep. Hello, welcome to the first episode of Talking Trash. I'm Cab, and as Talking Trash rated 9 out of 10 by That Slothboy on YouTube. He says, would have been better with more Cowell. Good news, today I'm joined by Aaron Cowell.
I'm here, it's me!
Yeah, well, hi guys, also me.
And this episode, we're talking about Rogue One.
Yes.
What did you think about the film?
Well, I mean, it has great hentai. It has great hentai. I mean, the octopus scene is my top-notch hentai scene of the film.
Dear.
Out of all that, you said that as if there's multiple hentai scenes.
Well, Force Awakens has some
I think in his imagination, there were far more. Everyone thinks you're watching hentai. Right, basically, there's a scene where they brainwash this dude with an octopus, and it makes no sense.
What happens in the film? Because basically I can't remember.
The opening scene, me and Alex, I can't remember what you thought of it, but me and Alex, we were both saying we really enjoyed the opening scene because it kind of sets a tone for the film.
Yeah.
And like, it immediately establishes a new character. We've got Krennic, the villain. You know, he kidnaps her dad and kills her mum.
Did you like the tone?
I did like the tone. I think it establishes the smaller side of the Star Wars universe.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because Kai raised an interesting point. You said when we were watching it, I was hoping her dad would be a Jedi. But then I feel like
that takes away from the film.
Alex was saying about the smaller side. Kai just noticed that we wrote on his to watch movies.
I wanted to get you water.
And we wrote on his board
Spider-Man 3 Remastered.
to watch Spider-Man 3 Remastered and for television shows Spider-Man 3 the animated series.
Yeah, about the tone, I think, and like the bit what you said, like it shows the smaller side of the Star Wars universe, and that's what I like about it, is that like it shows like the people who are like winning the real war, so that in the main film Luke and Leia can go do all the attacks. And I do like the realistic depiction of war and like the people on the ground and how like dirty the film is in terms of like not the hentai bit, but in terms of like the shots in the knee and stuff, and not like white.
You know, you were saying about Luke and Leia, like these are the people who like do the things so they can. Another thing I find interesting, one of the best scenes in the film, in my opinion, is when Jyn pitches her plan to, steal the plans for the Death Star to the Rebel Alliance, and most of them are all like, "Oh, we're all gonna die! Oh, we can't!" Blah 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 blah. Whereas in the original trilogy, Luke says something, everyone's like, "All right, Luke, let's do it.
Let's go."
Leia says something, everyone's like, "Yes, ma'am." Han says something, everyone's like, "Okay." Jyn says something, everyone's like, "What?"
I like seeing the people on the ground.
Yeah, that's what makes the final battle so good.
Yeah. Feet at least.
We'll get on that later.
That's basically when all the stuff I like ends.
Can I say something?
Go on, you interject with the stuff that you guys like.
Even the biggest critics of this film, so you loved Chirrut and K2SO. Chirrut is the blind guy for anyone who doesn't know, and K2SO. K2SO also leads on to another point. We were talking about how much we love the special effects of the film. Actually, it is stunning.
Is there anything else you like?
The blind guy and K2SO were good.
They're quite comedic.
They're quite comedic, they are as well, but they're more
and charismatic.
They're more the charisma they bring, but you see them, they are the more like underdogs of
the lowest of the low.
What they're going to do, but it just shows that you underestimate.
They have beautiful moments because they start as these tiny people. Now.
Like most of K2's dialogue is one-liners. That makes you love him more because in the end, in this film that's all about seriousness, he is often like the tension breaker. Like in serious situations, he has a complete obliviousness. Also note that he is the first character to die in the end.
Exactly. It was really good on their part to kill him first. The tone's gone now. This is like the happy film that K2SO keeps giving one-liners and jokes. They're now going to die.
Yeah, you raised a super interesting point about how it went through a lot of reshoots because it was too dark.
Yeah, and
I was wondering, what was that?
Yeah, because a big complaint with critics of The Last Jedi, too many jokes. Last Jedi isn't reshot for jokes yet. Oh wait, no, I've got this mixed up now. I've gone the wrong way.
It's not reshot for jokes. Okay, Aaron.
Okay. Right. I've got to retrack my thoughts now. Basically, the point I was trying to make, one of the biggest critiques of Last Jedi is that it had too much humour in it. Then Rogue One was reshot to make it more light-hearted and include a few more jokes in it, because originally Rogue One was meant to be some dark war film, and yet they turned it into something lighter. Yet it's clearly been shown that a lot of Star Wars fans don't like a more light-hearted film.
At least for me, it went in with the sort of idea that this was going to be a heist film. It it's a Star Wars film, but it feels more like a war film than a Star Wars film, as in it focuses more on the aspects of war than the aspects of your typical Star Wars film, which is cool. Yeah. But I think I would have probably enjoyed it more if it was outside the Star Wars continuity and sort of just its own.
Yeah, but that's also what it is. That's why it's called. That's why it's a spin-off. It's a Star Wars story. It's
important to remember.
It's a weird
Last Jedi
tone
just go
for me, at
makes
least.
jokes throughout the film, like Snoke's just dead. Have a quick joke with Hux. No, I didn't want that.
Let me get in with all the stuff that I absolutely hate about the film.
Let's be a bit meaner.
Because stealing Death Star plans sounds like a heist film.
Star Wars Ocean's 11 seems better.
I get the sort of idea that Gareth Edwards, the director, put into it of it needing a war film in the Star Wars universe. That'd have been cool, but it suffers from so many problems, like the stuff that was sort of stuck onto it. I think if he wasn't like, okay, you've got to write a film about how they get the Death Star plans. If he was like, you've got to write a Star Wars film in between these times. Yeah. And then he probably would have wrote something like this, but without the Death Star plans in it. Yeah. The Death Star plans could have been a really cool heist movie. The Ocean's 11 thing where it's a sort of banter, but also... welcome to episode 2 on Ocean's 11.
The little typical heist movie skits they put in, they just shoot him dead. I didn't think it would have worked, in the universe.
I think there are far too many characters. I think it would have probably benefited than having a smaller cast that you could focus on individual character moments. Because I feel like some of the characters go from point A to point B really quickly. And if it had less characters, probably could have fit in more of those character moments that really would have made me care about Jin,
the deaths.
Cassie, and...
I don't feel a connection. Apart from
the blind guy in K2SO, because their comedy relief and I
Jin,
like them
what's
for
his
that.
name? The captain, the rebel captain guy, whatever. Because I don't really know their names. Cassian. They die at the beach, and they're gonna get nuked. I'm just thinking, I can feel sorry for Jin. Yeah. But this guy, he just kills a random stranger, and he thinks he's the boss. I don't really care for you.
Compare it to the original trilogy. In A New Hope, the cast is smaller, and you all love everyone loves the cast in A New Hope. But then in Rogue One, we have the characters. We're like, oh, that character was good. That character was good. That character wasn't bad. When you watch A New Hope, you're just like, you remember all of the characters from you. That's just...
The thing for Rogue One is I doubt they could have ever had that when you think about it's a film set between these times. But no, because we know what happens in between this time. We know what their plans. We know they're all going to die. So we never were going to be fully invested in seeing this character die. Because on the offset of watching this film the first time viewing, I just thought, they're all going to die anyway. Yeah. I think that was the issue.
So my main criticism of the film is that basically I feel like pitches the ball to Luke in a way. That basically the inherent problem with the prequels, at least this current sort of generation of prequels for me, is that it sort of sets up stuff for the later films. So did you ever play Rugby as a kid where someone would set up the ball for you? If someone would have set up the ball for you, then you kick it in, then that's great, you kick the ball in. But then if someone wasn't there setting up the ball and you kick it in, that's so much cooler. Do you sort of get my analogy?
I get what you mean.
So basically what Rogue One does is set up the ball for Luke for him to kick it in, where it would have been so much cooler if you look at New Hope and you're like, oh my god, that guy, that underdog from Tatooine made a 1-to-100 shot. That guy.
Yeah, because it blames the Death Stars, whilst this does kind of wreck on the whole, where the Death Star have a big hole thing. It then also lessens the impact of Luke making
it. And also the whole big hole thing, I think it speaks, if they didn't explain it, I think it speaks to the nature of fascism to have really cool, big, massive things with flaws, because they don't care about the tiny little flaws, they more care about, it's I don't know. I can't.
There we go. No, I get you made a good point.
Mussolini has this massive terrorism, but your people were starving.
Oh, but I want a tower.
So whatever looks more powerful. All right, and on that note, I think it's time to bring the podcast to a close. Where can we find you?
Right, well, basically, I'm going to be launching a brand new website soon. Well, a reboot of my original website.
Wow!
I know. Try not to get too excited. Where I discuss films, music, television, games, all of the stuff, but probably films because I can
you can find us at talkingtrash.pod on Instagram. We will keep you updated about our insight and where you can find it. Have a lovely day. Goodbye!
Bye! Nice talking with you guys.
Yeah.